So we're here with Aidan and his mum. How are you getting on? And thanks a million for joining us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, welcome back home as well for a couple of days. But I suppose everyone saw you on the Late at the weekend, which was fantastic to see and great for basketball. But how are you getting on in the States, I suppose, is the big question everyone's asking. We see so much about you in the media, but from a personal point of view, how are you finding things?
It's been all like a blessing, everything's happened like really fast, but the process of everything's been great. I have a lot of people that take care of me over in the States, and I have my group, like my cohort of like people that we really just focus on getting my game better, and we don't really focus on like everything else out there. We just focus on me getting better and getting where I need to be. And regarding the academic work, it's been good. I've been studying hard, and my school really pushes me, to be a good student. So, I'm doing well on that end also. So.
Yeah, and how was it for you when this all started? I suppose obviously you went over with Dublin Lions on that famous trip now. How was it when he rang you to be like, I want to move to the States, this is what I'm doing?
I was very happy at first. I didn't believe it because they just went there on a tournament, and getting there, I guess the team they played with, he played very well. And then Mick sent me an email, which is the coach for Dublin Lions. Mm-hmm. And then he says, you need to come over. It's like, they wanting to keep your son. He did very well. I was really, really pleased, to hear that. And then I started making preparations, on how I'll be able to get there and see what's really going on.
Yeah, I suppose from a mother's point of view, like there's obviously such pride there, but it might be a bit bittersweet as well. Obviously, he was so young.
Yes, he was really, really young, and the first thing that came to my mind is how is he going to cope? How is he going to blend with the American system? And how is he going to take his studies? Because I'm really, for his studies, for him to do very well in his schoolwork. I guess being there, and I also have family. My brothers are there, so they kind of, got my back. Let me put it that way. Yes, it was also a big help, for him to be able to settle in, smoothly.
Yeah, it must be good for you as well to have family
over
there.
Yeah, that like people have no idea how like important that is. Like a lot of kids go there and be homesick. I had roughs, bumps and stuff like that because I miss my mom and stuff like that. Like, sometimes I call her crying and like I want to go home because by the end of the day I'm still a kid. Yeah. I might be 6'10", but I'm still a kid. So I'm a kid, trapped in a man's body, and I let her know like I want to come back home and stuff like that. So but I think family is very important. It's like it softens the blow because then you're not there by yourself. So you have like other people to really like love you and stuff. So that's important.
Yeah, and your mom touched on a point there as well, about how to adapt to the American style of play. Yeah. Like, how are you finding that?
This style of play?
Yeah.
Like in basketball?
Yeah, in basketball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when I first went over there, I couldn't even play because, I was probably one of the best players here. When I got there, like, from the physical scale of things, I wasn't up to par. Yeah. So, I went over there, I was probably like 160 pounds, but I was like 6'4", so like 165, so I was like skin and bones, Yeah. So the first year, it was tough for me in high school. I averaged like 11 points, which wasn't that bad for me at the time. I was like, whoa, 11 points in America, like that's a big deal. But, that summer, I grew to about 6'9", and then I was, like working out a lot, like with pull-ups and stuff like that. I changed my eating diet and everything. So I put on about 20 or 30 pounds of muscle. So then I started to, like I wasn't huge, but, I started to get a little stronger, more explosive and stuff like that. The next summer is when I really blew up, like really expanded my game. I started to shoot the ball a lot better. I got my core completely strong, like a really, really strong core. And I became this explosive player that just jumps over people. Like, like it wasn't, like I was naturally athletic, but going over there really enhanced it. There's a lot of stuff that goes into training that people don't know over here, like that. So for me, it wasn't really the basketball things. Like my game really changed when I changed my body, Okay. So that's what it was.
Yeah, and there's a lot of kids, obviously, as you said, you're jumping over people now, and you're dunking. There's kids here at home who are seeing these videos, and social media is huge for that as well.
Right.
It's great to be able to show the younger kids, but I suppose you're back here now, there's camps going on,
right.
The culture here in Dublin Lions, like I've been out here a good few times already this year, there's been a stream of success really of kids coming out of this club. Like it's an important base really for every good player, to have such a strong club behind them as well.
Definitely. Like Dublin Lions, they really focus on the younger kids. They really focus on development. Obviously we win, but it's not all about winning for us. We're a big family, and every time I come back home, they treat me as family. Anytime Max or Kevin, hopefully will come back home as all family. So even when I come back home, I try to like interact with the kids. Ask me if they have any questions, and I'm great with the kids. Like they all love me, I love them too. So it's a huge family. We just focus on getting them better, and hopefully keep this things of like sending them over, keep it going, just create like a legacy almost, just sending kids over. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, and for kids, again, who might be watching this, like obviously you've been training so hard all the way up, and you're working really hard over in the States now as well. But from an academic side of things, how important are the academics as well? Like
the academics are really important, especially to my mom, so I can't let her down. I study really hard. I even brought some books over here with me. Not a lot of typical players of that caliber really take it seriously because they think like I'm good either way. But me, I want to, I think of life after basketball. Life is bigger than basketball. So like I'm a very academic guy. So. I try to study hard, and my school is a private school, and we're like an Ivy League high school. So most of our kids, we go to Harvard, Yale. There's a lot of geniuses in my school, so they really push you, academically, definitely.
It must be fantastic for you to hear that passion as well, not only for the sport, but obviously for academics as well. He's such a role model. Yeah. It must be great for you to hear the way he's talking at such a young age as well. It's great to see.
Yes. I'm just so happy and just thank God. For everything, for the way he has grown, the way he has put in so much hard work. Sometimes I call him over there and I say, Mom, I'm in the gym. And I've said, you need a break, you need to eat, you need to do something. Yeah. He says, no, Mom, I have to work hard, So hearing that, it's a great pleasure to me. And as he's home, I always tell him, you need to tell these younger kids the kind of work you do. Let them know they have to put in, hard work in their studies too as well. Let them not just think it's just basketball all the way. You have to have, your academics too as well. You have to put in so much hard work for you to be successful.
Yeah. Because as you said, life after basketball as well. It's just it has a short lifespan.
Yes, it does. It's a way of just taking, basketball away from your life. So but no one can ever rob you from your mind. So I think that's really important. If you develop that, you'll always have that to fall back on,
Yeah, that's quite a powerful thing to say, but to take it back to basketball, when did you start, I suppose, believing, that the NBA was a realistic dream for you?
Like a realistic dream, okay. A realistic dream maybe my second year in the States.
Okay. So,
it was always a dream for me. My mom always told me, you're going to be better than Michael Jordan, or you're going to be playing like him, blah, blah, blah. I believed it, but when it became a reality, I can really do this thing, it was probably my second year in America. So, so that's when, I started to get my college scholarships up and stuff like that. And that's when my coaches was like, hey, man, you can really do this thing. You can really do it. So I'm really training, I'm gonna train you hard. And he doesn't just train anybody as hard as me. He trains kids that he said, yo, this kid can really make it. So when he told me that, my motivation went from here all the way up. Yeah. So, yeah.
And what do you think of the whole, I suppose, the one and done rule that's over there? Is that something that you think about, or?
Yeah, of course. Going to college is basically preparing you for a job. And the NBA is a job, and if you're ready the first year, I think you should always go, because as I said, college never runs away; it's always there. I know a ton of people that get their degrees at 40, at 35, but your body doesn't always stay in mint condition till you're 35. Yeah. So and also if you stay the 4 years in college, you could get hurt before you even make it. Yeah. Which is a devastating thing that happens to kids. It happens to really talented people, and it's just a shame. So I'm saying if you hear your name in the first round, early second round, you should go. Yeah. You should definitely go.
Is that fear of injury, like you've mentioned a couple of times, is that something that kind of hangs over you?
I mean, I think it's every major athlete is a fear, but I take care of my body. I watch what I eat. I do a lot of strengthening and stuff. So I don't really get ticky tack injuries. Like I'm actually known for being very durable.
Okay.
So I just be careful about how I play. My style of play is pretty dangerous. I'm always jumping and stuff like that. But I always pray too. I pray to God, always to protect me and stuff like that. But the worst I've probably gotten is a rolled ankle, stuff like that. And I've been after I rolled my ankle the first time, I rolled it again like 6-7 times.
So easy.
And it's so easy to keep doing it. And I was with a strength and conditioning coach, and we really just worked on my ankle strength and my foot. Because as your foot grows so fast, you gotta strengthen the ligaments and stuff like that. So I did that a lot. Foot exercises that I did not know was even invented, and I didn't even know. But and now I stopped the injury. So like my ankles are good, my knees are fine. I try to ice from growing pains and stuff like that. But but I'm good. So
that's good to hear.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I suppose looking ahead now, is there any part of your game that you feel like you need to improve on yourself?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I don't want to be cliche and say everything, but it is everything though. I'm definitely not where I need to be yet, or where I want to be at least. I'm doing really well, but obviously I need to work on my ball handling. I need to work on my jump shot. I still need to get stronger. I'm pretty strong right now, but I need to get a whole lot stronger if I want to play at that level. So everything really, but definitely my ball handling and my shooting, because I'm getting more versatile playing the 3, 4, and the 5. So like my game's probably gonna end up at the 3, 4. Because I'm very agile. So like just basically just putting the ball on the floor and just my shooting. Pretty much that's what I really need to work on.
That's what I was gonna say. There's kind of a trend over there at the moment, for kind of small ball spacing. Is the outside game kind of something you're focusing on?
It is something. In the Nike league I played in, in the summertime, my game wasn't really spread out. It was just, tough, greedy, rebounding, dunking on people, big man style. But I had to sit down at times because they put small people in, and I can't space the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, Aidan's handle is iffy. Aidan can't really shoot the ball like that. So from July till now, you can see my game is completely different. You'd be like, like who's that kid? Like he can play the 2, 3, like the way he's moving. I'm not really posting up anymore. I'm facing it up. Like I'm bringing the ball up and setting, like I'm calling for picks and hitting people now. So like that's basically a huge part of my game that I've really been working in.
Do you prefer that change? Or?
I do prefer that change because I can do more now. I can start inside and then go outside. And that's really the work though. The work of waking up at 6 a.m. and then dribbling basketballs in plastic bags and stuff like that. So it's a whole lot that goes into it, but but it helps because now I'm definitely more of a all-around player than I was in July.
And you're saying this, it sounds crazy to me. Obviously, you're at such a high level, but like, what kind of training is it? Like, how many hours are you putting in a day? Like,
so I want to say, okay, so sometimes I go 2-a-days. So I probably would. So if it's a school day, I probably would wake up at like 4:30, and then I'll take the train, and then I'll probably get an hour and a half in school of just shooting, just shooting, and then because my coach gives me access to the gym, and then the shooting machine. So I use that, probably get about 600-700 shots up. And then after I go 4 to 7. And then I do from 4 to 6, I do, big man stuff, and then, facing up. So the high post, we do like a series of stuff with the weight vest and stuff like that. And 6 to 7 is all strength work. So, strength and conditioning, plyometrics, getting my vertical higher. And, I haven't really started weightlifting, but I do squats for explosiveness, and then I do a lot of pull-ups and stuff like that. So,
wow.
yeah.
That's a serious work ethic that he has, and we do have to look back to the parents as well for instilling that. And like, has he been like that the whole way up? Like, has it been something that he's been so dedicated to? Not necessarily even just basketball, but in life in general. Is that a trait that he's had from a young boy?
Yes, he's been a very hardworking kid. Right from when he was a baby. Even when he was playing soccer, he had this energy in him. He could run very fast, and he even did some. Was it international?
Track.
When you used to go to what? Is it sword?
Oh yeah, Santry.
Santry.
Oh, yeah.
Santry.
Yeah.
That's
Santry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he also took part in that, and he came home with medals. Coming out first, second. in his running strength, you know. So, like I always tell him, if you want something in life, you have to go for it, you know.
Yeah.
Always have those three things with I can, I will, and I can win it. You know, once you have that in you, you know, the sky's the limit for you.
Yeah.
You know, put in a lot of hard work, you know. Just
Yeah.
have it at the back of your mind. This is what I want, and I'm going to go for it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's pretty special. Though.
Yes. Just like you said, you know, people get education at 40, get graduate. Yeah, I just got my degree too, you know.
Congratulations.
At my age, oh, thank you. You know, at the age of what, 48, and I just turned 50, you know, about 3 days ago. So
happy birthday as well.
Thank you.
You don't look a day of it.
Yeah, thank you. So it's never too late to achieve what once your mind is set on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty special and something.
Yes.
It's a mindset I think as well.
Yeah.
That's important at that elite level as
Yeah,
well. I
definitely.
think you need
Yeah.
that drive really as well.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to playing at the moment, like, has there been anyone that stood out for you as an opponent while you've been over there? Like, is there anyone that you've looked at and you're like, wow, this dude's been really hard to guard? Or
Hard to guard. I ain't gonna say that, but there's some really talented players. You know, I've played against like Marvin Bagley. He's in Duke University right now. The dude is real good. You know, he just as I said, he's with Duke. He's probably gonna be the #1 pick in the NBA draft.
Yeah.
And you know, like I played against him. You know, he's a little older than me, but you know, he's strong. He's deceptively strong, and you know, he's quick. And when he plays, man, like boys, like men versus boys. And you know, I think he's a real good player, and he's a good person too. So you know, I talked to him like a few times, and he's pretty cool. And another one would probably be Bobo. You know, I played against Bobo. You know, that was a good game. That was a good game for back and forth, man. I was doing my thing too, so like it was a good game. But he's good. He's talented. He's long. He's about 7'2", and he's athletic. he's athletic, and he plays from the wing, and he can shoot it. So it's so you know, there's a lot of talented kids, like a lot. You know, I play at the highest high school level, so you know, I see the top players in the country. So they're really good players out there. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure they're saying the same about you. But what is the ultimate dream, I suppose, in basketball at least? Obviously, I know you've big plans outside of basketball, but in basketball terms, what is the big dream?
Big dream, want to be a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
A Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
One of the best to ever do it. Because if you don't want that as your dreams, then what's the point of doing it? Like, I don't just want to make the NBA. I want to dominate that too, and I want to go down as one of the best to ever play. That's one of my goals.
And that's something pretty special, obviously, no matter where you come from, but especially coming from Ireland.
Yeah.
You know, it's not every day we're producing NBA prospects.
Yeah.
You know, that's like to be over there representing your club, Dublin Lions, obviously, and your country as well, and getting basketball and what basketball's happening in Ireland. That's pretty special as well.
It is extremely special, and y'all push me. You know, y'all really do push me, and I always think to myself, you know, there's a million times like y'all. I mean, y'all won't see it, but there's a million times where like I'm working out and I'm just like, damn, like I don't want to. Like, why am I working so hard? You feel me?
Yeah.
And you know, my coach Dana Dangle, like he breaks me, man. Like he mentally broke me when I first came. You know, I was telling my coach Rob the other day, like, you know, I was in tears, like, you know, now I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. And he's telling me, you know, do you want to be good or do you want to be great? You know, and so it is tough. And as I get older, as my mind gets, you know, more mature and stuff like that, you know, I really start thinking. And I'm, you know, like, why am I doing this? Like, you know, so I think to be great, your reason why has to be greater than you. Yeah. And like, you know, I'm doing it for my mom. Yeah. I'm doing it for my brother. I'm doing it for Lions. I'm doing it for my country. And you know, that's bigger than me. So I think, you know, my reason why is great. My reason why I'm doing this is great. So that's why I believe I'm going to do great, you know.
Well, that's super to hear. And I suppose finally, staying with the Irish thing, is there a dream there at all? You know, to come home and represent Ireland at senior level, under 18. Obviously, you're still under 18, which is crazy to think. Obviously, you've under 18, you've under 20, you've senior. Is that a dream that's there?
I plan to play for Ireland. I do plan, you know. So I'm going to be in my last year at AAU. Always clashes with the schedule and stuff like that. But as soon as I get to college, boy, I'm coming back home and we're going to play.
Watch out.
Man, I'm coming back home. So, so that's definitely a plan.
Perfect. Well, thanks a million to both of you for coming along. It was a pleasure to speak to both of you and wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.